Hello everyone and welcome back to the Starcraft 2 Wings of Liberty campaign. I'm Cargo and we're here doing the dig. This is the only mission available to me and this mission is pretty tricky. Now, we're going to start off with a little bit of a micro battle and an intro to siege tanks, and this part's not too complicated. But then after that, we have a really hard defense against constant waves of Protoss. So I'm gonna make sure I expand really early this time because I just got completely overwhelmed last time. Ah, crap. Wasn't supposed to lose the Marauder. I don't think it's game changing. Anyway, what I've noticed about the Terran is that they need to be active on the map. Most of these campaign missions require you to move out a little bit. Or at least, requires a strong word. They don't really require you to move out. But, what I've noticed about the Terran is if you move out and you don't have enough, you get wrecked. And then you can lose off of that.
Mobius base local net accessed. Decrypting security overrides. Transferring control of base structures to you, Commander.
Fired up. 170. What's going on? Big job.
Not enough minerals.
Sure thing. Yeah.
Not enough.
We need bunkers and siege tanks defending that laser drill. We got no chance of claiming the artifact without it.
SCV ready. Hey, on me. What's that? Go ahead. Need something moved up.
Not enough.
SCV ready. SCV ready. Hey, on me. Been waiting on you.
Sir, I've managed to access what's left of the Mobius Expedition sensor net. I'll route it through your map so you can see what the Tal'Darim are up to.
That's fine. Got no faith.
So it looks like we've got several different Tal'Darim bases. Now, I always find it easier to defend one location than to defend two. So I'm going to try to move out to this right-hand side and attack this base whenabouts I feel ready. Hello everyone, Future Cargo here with a little bit of some thoughts going over this mission. First thing I have to say, this type of mission, not really my favorite type where you just sit there and defend against endless waves. I don't know anyone where it is their favorite type of mission, but it was definitely a very cool highlight for the siege tank. Now, I have some recommendations because I tried doing a whole bunch of different things. I finally ended up just spam out siege tanks, and that ended up working, and everything else failed. So I just want to talk really quick. Definitely grab that second command center as early on into this mission as you can. It wasn't placed there by accident. There's nothing guarding it for a reason. They want you to grab that second command center. As far as trying out other units, building stuff like Thors, Spectres, Goliaths, all the other things that I wanted to build and try, don't bother with that. Genuinely don't bother with that. The enemy is attacking with wave after wave of anti-tank units that are grouped together, and the strongest unit that you actually have against that tactic is the siege tank. This mission is designed to show off the siege tank, and everything else is inefficient to build in this situation. So definitely, unfortunately, the only real tactic for this mission is to spam siege tanks and fill your high ground with them. As far as microing units, microing the laser, you can trade help on the current wave that's attacking you for more time on the mission, which might mean extra waves later. To be entirely honest, this mission took a really long time, and it's probably because I kept trying to use the laser to defend every single attack wave. I also tried to go for Thors early. I also tried to make some units out of the barracks. I also end up trying to move out at some point during this mission, and you'll see that here in a few minutes. I'll slow it down for that move out and show you exactly what happens. This mission, in each base, there's like 3 or 4 Colossi and half a dozen Immortals and a couple of Archons and a dozen Stalkers, a dozen Zealots, some Void Rays, some Scouts, some Sentries, and at least a dozen Photon Cannons. Each one of those bases is insanely tanky, and they're not meant to be cracked. This mission, rather, is designed to just be you holding out on this high ground, trying to use your siege tanks as best you can. They throw a ton of units at you that really punish honestly any of the Protoss units that can get in range. Your objective for this mission is just to stop the Protoss units from getting in range. They are upgraded. They do a ton of damage. These Immortals just shred everything. I don't know. Bit sloppy on my end. I think this was my 3rd attempt at the mission where I finally said, okay, fine, I'll use siege tanks. I kept trying to use Thors, and I kept trying to use some other stuff. I kept trying to find ways to move out against the Protoss, and you just don't do that in this mission. So anyway, my recommendation, if you are trying to beat this mission on a higher difficulty, go for probably 8 missile turrets, and go for Siege Tank Viking. Don't bother with any of the barracks units. Maybe a couple in the early game, just so that because they are, a little bit more mobile with Stimpack. But other than that, don't bother with any units that aren't Siege Tanks and Vikings. The Vikings are very nice for the hardest waves. There are 2 waves in this that are actually hard to hold, and they're the 2 waves where you get hit with air units and transports. Definitely, the Vikings make those waves incredibly easy, and you can also use the Vikings to secure all of the Protoss research. Because if you get enough Vikings, you can just land them and blow up the pylon. You can just land them next to the pylon and blow it up. There are 3 temples, 2 in the southeast, as you can see there on the minimap, and 1 in the northwest. Well, west, really, not north. In total, all 3 temples are guarded by 4 photon cannons and 2 pylons. No units, nothing fancy. So a small hit squad of Vikings, like 6 Vikings, can land and blow up the pylon without actually losing anything. And yeah, you can wait till later in the mission to do that, and I kind of recommend that you do. This mission, gonna be honest, just gotta say it again, I don't like the design of this mission. It tells you to build siege tanks and hold your high ground, and that's literally what you do. Very, very little decision making on the player's behalf in terms of how you do stuff. You quite literally just build siege tanks and hold it. Anyway, really quick here, I'm about to attempt to push into this base. I'm sitting here thinking, you know what, I've got 6 tanks defending, I've got 6 tanks extra, I've got a couple of Vikings to scout and spot for them, so I go for a little bit of a push here on the eastern base, thinking that I can, if I can take out 1/3 of the Protoss bases, then it gets easier to defend, and then maybe I can go try to clear the map and do some fun stuff like that. I get punished hard. Anyway, that's it for Future Zacargo. Back to in mission Zacargo.
Got no patience for sitting around. Lay it off it. Rock and roll.
Mineral field depleted.
Fueled up, ready to go. What's that?
You ready for war? Bold.
Go ahead. Give us your best.
Let's get into the fight. Ready to plunder. Transformation system prime. Victory.
Oh my god. Okay, why is there so much? Like, if they had this much, why am I still here? I mean, surely, if these guys wanted me gone, they could just, like, F2 A move. Like, almost every Protoss I face in the multiplayer just presses F2 and A move, and, you know, that seems like a pretty good strat. If these guys just did that, I'm pretty sure I'd be gone. They could have killed me, like, how long have I been in this mission? 25 minutes? They could have killed me 25 minutes ago. F2 A move. Pretty good maneuver when you're playing Protoss. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm not insulting. Most of the Protoss players I fight are actually using ground armies, and they try to use a lot of storms, and it's actually pretty cool. But this Protoss army could quite literally just F2 A move. Anyway. I got all of the research. I've actually done more damage to the enemy bases using Vikings than I have anything else. I guess I should call it a win because we got all the research, but man, I really thought I was going to be able to push into those bases. Kind of curious. Void Race. It's just a collection of Void Race and turrets. What the hell? It is actually just an impenetrable wall. I think these Thors are probably pretty good. I kind of wish I had them earlier. The Thor's barrage can really mess up like these groups of units. Okay, I take it back. These Thors are dog shit. Holy crap, I should have just built more siege tanks. Oh man.
Sacrilege will echo across the stars. James Raynor. The day of reckoning draws near.
These artifacts of yours seem real popular, Tychus.
What do we care? As long as the pay's good.
Really? I'd say getting vaporized by the Tal'Darim definitely counts as diminishing returns.
Well, alright. Not my favorite type of mission. I generally don't like the missions that are just endurance run holdouts. That and escort missions. I really like the missions where you get to go on the offensive. And what I have to say about this mission is definitely don't do that. Definitely not my type of mission. But that should open up a whole bunch of new choices. So let's see where we go from here.
James Raynor, I bring tidings of doom.
Zaratul.
I have pierced the veil of the future and beheld only oblivion. Yet one spark of hope remains. You will hold her life in your hands. And though justice demands that she die for her crimes, only she can save us.
Wait a second. You're talking about Kerrigan. It's been 4 years. You show up out of nowhere.
Time is short. You must understand. The answers you seek lie within. Study it well. The fate of creation hangs in the balance.
Nice to see you too.
Am I supposed to know who that was?
I've heard of these Ehon crystals before. Supposedly they allow you to relive another person's memories. Whatever Zaratul's uncovered.
I feel like I'm supposed to
It's desperate for me to
know
see
who
it
that
too.
guy was.
Well, here goes nothing.
Well, anyway, let's go check out the mercenaries. I'm kind of curious what the siege tank mercenaries get. I'm assuming it's bonus damage. 66% damage. Okay. Okay, that's really strong. That is really strong. I was expecting 33% damage. That's extremely powerful. We're gonna look into their upgrades first. Less damage to friendly units. That sounds nice, but honestly, no. Plus 40 damage to their primary target. That sounds very good. I can afford to get this as well as pick up the mercenaries. So let's go ahead and do that. I like the Goliaths, but I'm not convinced. Goliaths to me feel like the sort of unit where you're going to lose a few, and I don't necessarily know if I like the idea of investing into like a couple of extra good Goliaths. Something about spending credits on a couple of Goliaths that are extra strong. I mean, Goliaths aren't even good in every mission, so I think I'd rather hang on to my credits and see what other things come up in the future. Let's go ahead and check out that crystal. It's a mission. Okay. And that's going to give us research. Alright, alright. And then how about over here? Okay, so we have another mission over here. We're definitely going to do the crystal mission next time, because that looks fantastic. Anyways, I've been Zacargo. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time with more StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty.